Because we're Lakota, you know, and it plays a really big role in who we are, because the Lakota mirror themselves with the Tatanka, the Pteoyate. A lot of their behaviors are very similar to ours. So if we want to understand who we are, going back to the Tatanka is a really good way to kind of understand that, how we work together and everything. So like right now, they're just doing cuts so they can get familiar with cutting. We're not sitting there saying, you gotta do it like this, you gotta do it like that. We're just letting them cut. So, and then they'll start figuring it out. You know, if they really need the help and stuff, then we'll help them. But right now they're just learning how to use their knives and just cutting, you know. And then they should be able to understand things that way. Cut it. There you go. He just wanted that part. But they have that understanding of, you know, where their food comes from, these guys, because they're a part of it. But I think that's what's really important, is understanding, you know, how we're a relative to it, and then how everything is connected to each other. Because we were starting to understand, like their dung, their poop helps the insect population thrive. There's certain insects that will feed on the dung. They either stay with it or, you know, burrow their tunnels near it, you know, because it's their food source. But how other animals that feed off of those insects, I think they were calling the burrowing owl that are with the prairie dogs. So they said they would take the patty, put it near their hole so the bugs will come to the poop, and then they'll feed off the bugs that are eating off the poop. Like that, you know? Yep. How everything's connected. Yep. That's what we need to understand. So that whole food sovereignty movement that they're doing, you know, understanding where our food comes from and how it's connected with us and us to it, you know, is really important, I think.
So who taught you how to harvest bison?
A lot of people. It's really like a community effort. So we just present it and people come and participate and share what they know. So it's like an accumulated knowledge from different communities. That's how we understand that, you know, everybody has their own way of doing things, which should be recognized, because nothing should ever be cookie cutter. They should allow that diversity.
I bet you learn something new every time, huh?
Every time, yeah. So like just during conversation and stuff and cutting meat, good job, babe. Cutting the meat, people will tell stories of like how they would prepare it, how their grandparents would prepare it, how they would store the meat. Like there's a guy in Wombly, South Dakota, who said that they would just hang the hindquarters and just take from it as they needed it. Let's see. So just go up to right here. See this? It's attached right there. Go along this right here, and you should be done.
I feel like we should just cut this whole thing down.
Holy cow, look at that.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Backstrap. Yeah. But see, now we can see where the neck is, where the neck attaches to the rest of the body. It's a lot thinner. Man, we took a lot of meat off of that neck. So we usually tell people, we nickname them what they take off. Yeah, so like backstrap. Yeah. You're now backstrap. Yes. It'll be like, yeah. Like, don't mess with her, that's backstrap, you know? If you know, you know. Hey.
I'm just trying to get this off.
Man, they're doing new cuts every time. You notice that? So they're like progressing and doing one thing, doing another, like that, just kind of going around it, and then
Mom, I need help.
taking a lot of bigger cuts off.
Auntie, can you help me?
Yeah.
Oh, this.
Oh, is it pretty heavy? Yeah, that neck by itself was pretty heavy. Get it off. Are you taking this off right here?
Yeah.
Okay. So just go ahead and cut the meat like that. Cut it down this way.
Make it worth our while.
Totally.
There's a lot of trauma, there's a lot of hurt in our communities, reservation communities especially. And all around the world, literally, but like whenever with indigenous peoples, we can identify that route to our cultural identity through food. And once you start developing that competence, that's when you begin to heal. You start to like being a part of something, knowing your role, who you are, who's your spirit. And once that's established, then you start, rebuilding communities and you start healing people. And once you heal people, you begin to heal communities. Families are the ones that really stick together. And usually those families distance each other with all this BS. But this is the stuff that gets them back together, is the food. I do my best to honor this animal and respect it by doing all this. Because if we can get this going, the animal will not have gone in vain. It'll help a community build back up because we are reflective upon it.